basically I'm in a situation where I need to record vocals for an entire song, and I kind of need to do it now. And I also need to record a YouTube video, so I thought I would do a video where I just show my process for recording vocals. I started releasing a single every single week for a video that I'm going to be doing here later on, just to test and see how it works. And so it's become really important for me to be able to get these done quickly. This is going to be less of a structured video. It's more going to be me just speaking my thoughts as I do it. Like, there are a few things that I'll clarify, but I think it's also just important to see how a session goes. First thing is, as you can see, I like having my own vocal tracking sessions where I have like a bounce down of the instrumental and like a temp vocal. I feel like that has gotten the best results for me. When we're recording vocals, we're really fighting latency. Also, I like to decide what vocal arrangement I'm going to do before I start recording stuff. So as you can see, I've used MIDI clips to show myself what kind of vocal arrangement I'm doing and see what parts I'm doing. So I'll literally just like record on an audio track above it and just record the parts that I need and then go down to the next one and then the next one. And I find that that keeps me from making a bunch of excess takes that I end up never using. I am a little out of breath, so I'm going to do an exercise that I talked about in a past video I did about how to get the most out of your vocal sessions, but it's just going to be a breathing exercise. So we're just going to be snapping and then using those as counts. And so we're going to be breathing in for 4 counts and then breathing out for 4 counts. When we're breathing in, it's going to be like we're sucking on a straw. And when we're breathing out, it's going to be like we're hissing like a snake. So we're going to do 4 ins and then 4 outs, 4 ins, 4 outs, 4 ins, 4 outs. And then after that, we're just going to slowly add 4 more counts to the exhale to sort of build up the diaphragm strength. So that video that I linked also will talk about different foods and things that you should eat or things that you should not eat before a vocal session. I like a protein shake while I'm doing it just because I'm normally doing plant-based protein stuff, so it's like not milk-based. Also, I personally think that it's cool to have like a vocal tracking chain that you use that is only using stock plugins, because I feel like stock plugins tend to play a little bit better with like a CPU usage.
I also like recording with saturator and auto-tune on. I don't know why, but I just like the way my voice sounds in the tracking phase when I'm doing that. It makes it feel more punk.
Yeah, I like tracking with auto-tune on just because I can really get a sense for how off I am with the pitch. Like in real time, it's easier for me to adjust. I'm not printing it in real time. So yeah, I'll just jump into it and we'll record this first guy.
Give you one more time. Didn't go out planned, it was a needed one. But instead you took mine. But instead you took mine. But instead you took mine.
See, this is why I like the temp vocal. I don't know why, but I just feel like I get better performances when I'm singing along with myself, if that makes sense.
Saying no to you, now you're a half stranger. I don't wanna see you again. See you again. See you again. I don't wanna see.
Sometimes when you're on a specific vowel, it can be easier to like change it a little bit. So it's like I'm struggling a bit with the don't wanna see, like the E sound. So I'm gonna try to change it to an A. Don't wanna say,
I don't wanna say half stranger. I don't wanna say
that one felt a little bit more confident.
half stranger. I don't wanna say again.
So yeah, when I'm struggling to record a certain take, sometimes I'll like adjust my microphone position. So like for the C again, I wanted it to be a little bit more like throw at the back of the wall. So I'm like raising it up so that I'm like at eye level. But when I wanted it to be like shorter and timid, I almost like brought it down here. So yeah, you can be dynamic with it. It's also why I like doing this at like a standing desk, like right here at my fingertips is like what you guys are seeing right here. And I'm like standing around and I can move and stuff like that. And I just feel like that's better for vocal performances. So if you can, I would recommend getting like, even if it's just like your laptop on top of a box, I feel like that just, it makes it so much easier and nicer to do stuff.
Late night drive. Thought I'd stay longer, guess not. Don't wanna talk. And I know it's a thing in my mind, and I think that it's true.
Right now, the lyrics are a little bit weird because they're like chopped up from the main demo. Just because I feel like whenever I'm in a vocal tracking session, I change the vocals a little bit, like pretty much without fail. So I just kind of leave a little bit of inspiration space here when I'm in the tracking stage.
Not now or ever, now that I know it's a thing in my mind, and I know that it's true. Rather be alone and stuck with you.
So yeah, I actually like that second one that I just did now better than the original one because it was kind of like chopped up, and I like kind of edited it to a way where I couldn't really sing it because I knew I wanted to come back to that. So yeah, you can allow yourself to be creative in your vocal sessions. And yeah, as you can see, I don't really like doing the multiples takes all the way through the song. I just like getting what I need, and if I know that it's good, that's it, and I just move on to the next section of the song. Also, a thing that you guys can't see that I'm doing, I'm actually taking my wrist and like holding it like this and putting it behind my back. So like this, and like kind of flexing my arms like this, just because I don't know, for my ADHD brain, it just kind of likes tracking vocals like that a bit more. Late night drive, late night drive.
But instead you took my
Late night drive. You can see like me lifting my face and being dynamic with it, because the way that I view like vocal tracking, it's almost like voice acting. Like you decide what kind of emotion you want for the song, and then you just kind of like move your face around and get it to come out. And so now that I've finished the main take, I'll just color code these green just so I can visually see what is done. And then I don't like tracking to unedited vocals, so I'll just turn this main I just recorded off.
now you're a half stranger. I don't want to say you can.
You can also see I'm using an SM7B to record these vocals. That is specifically because I felt like this was a very 80s track, and I felt like for this kind of like synth pop 80s track, it felt best to have the microphone be not as bright. So instead of like grabbing an EQ and EQing every single vocal the exact same way to be a little bit darker, I just grabbed a darker microphone.
Gave you all my time. Didn't go out, planned it would. Gave you all my time. Didn't go out, planned it would.
I feel like every time I add the high octave in to a track, it just kind of makes the rest of the vocal gel a little bit better, even though it's not like a main part. Like I just blend it in a little bit underneath, and it always just makes things sound a little bit better. It might be bad technique, but sometimes I find like curving my head makes it a little bit easier. The low octave is great for like adding beef and texture, and also I tend to go into like a Rick Astley style voice when I sing down there, and I feel like if you can like mimic the ability to sound like a bunch of different singers, that can be kind of cool. Now I'm gonna do almost like a Don Broco thing with the main melody. Yeah, yeah, actually, I don't think I want harmonies on this. I think it would be cool if it was just like a gang vocal that's just a bunch of different people singing a melody in different octave ranges. I like that. So yeah, some other things that I think are useful to know for tracking vocals. Sometimes people don't really like the way that these feel on their heads, so having some in-ear monitors can also be helpful. Also, I had to keep the lights on here for like video purposes, but normally these are turned off. That orange light in the back is like the only light in the room, and I'll just vibe out to make sure that I'm like really feeling the space. Also, I am a big fan of Pinterest boards. If you can get like a visual reference for something you're trying to go for, I've found that to be very helpful. I've literally been recording some client vocalists here, and their takes were like good. They were adequately performed, but there was like an emotion that was being like almost taken away from them. And then I literally would pull up like a photo on Pinterest and have them look at it while they track it, and like 99% of their problems went away. It just felt like they were living in the song because they had like a visual to sing to. But yeah, if all has gone well, this song should be out now. As I said, I'm trying to release a single every week, so this is this week's. Yeah, hopefully you guys found this helpful. If you have any other questions about things that you run into when you are recording vocals, put them down in the comments. I'd love to respond to them. And yeah, my throat is a little bit shot from talking and singing for like an hour, so I'm gonna end this here. See you guys next week.